guys, so as you see, I'm trying out recording in a different spot of the house to try out different lighting. But as you guys see, this is not a book review. So before I even get started, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. Make sure you hit the bell so that you can get all the notifications when I'm uploading videos and every little thing that I'm doing, right? So you guys, as you guys know, I review a lot of books. I read a lot of books. There's even, like, honestly, there's a lot of books that I even read where I'm just like, you know what, I'm probably not going to review this one. And those obviously are not books that I've been, like, paid to sit here and read a review or make a video review for. But I just feel like it has been bothering me so bad how often I keep seeing the theme in, like, urban fiction books, like, the theme of, like, the encouragement of struggle love. Like, what the hell is that about? Like, and if for the people who don't know what struggle love is, that's really like, basically, to explain struggle love, it's really like that whole, you know what, you should stay with someone while they're broke, while they're like mentally broken, financially broke as hell. Like, you should stay with them because you just should. Like, there's really no other explanation besides you just should. And oh, and if you love someone, you should stay with them even though they're toxic to you, or even though you being with them is putting you in a financial situation to the point where you're taking on all of the finances, and like, it's clearly stunting your growth as a person. But you should just be with this person because love is everything. And even though maybe he cheats on you or she cheats on you, and even though maybe they smack you upside the head a couple times, it's still love. So you should still stay with them because there's not that many good women or good men left. So therefore you should be with who you can get, right? I am so tired of reading about that in urban fiction. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I'm tired of, like, the glorification of, oh, a woman is like, she's doing good in her life and things are going consistent and she's kind of like pursuing her education, and then some hood rich man comes in like Prince fucking Charming and like sweeps her off her feet. I am so tired. I am tired of reading about that. And it's annoying. Because it's just like, I think the reason why it bothers me is because urban fiction, I don't feel like it really has like this is the age group that starts reading it and this is the age group that like usually doesn't. I feel like I probably read my first urban fiction book when I was in high school. So obviously back then I didn't see it as problematic as I see it today. And I also get that shit, I graduated high school, I think it's been like 7 years now. So I'm obviously not the same person today as I was at 17. But to me, now that I see like how reading such problematic content and such toxic content and it being like encouraged, I don't know, it kind of makes me wonder, like, how did that like shape my idea of relationships, like, as a teenager? Like, how did that, like, I don't know, it just kind of makes me wonder. And it just kind of makes me feel like, you know what, if there's a girl that's 17 or 16 in high school and she's picking up a book of urban fiction that I've written, I don't want her to think that it's okay to be in a toxic relationship or to be in a relationship that's stunting your growth as a person, all because, you know what, we should struggle together and we can build together. I don't agree with that. Like, I don't agree with that. I just feel like, specifically, I feel like black women and like black young adults have been encouraged for so long to like, it's okay to struggle together. Now, obviously, when you're dating someone, are you going to be meeting a millionaire? No. Are you going to be meeting someone that's making hundreds of thousands of dollars out of college, out of high school? No. My point is, why, like, it just bothers me, because when you look at other races, when you look at these Asian families, you're not really getting close to their daughter if you don't really have something going on. That whole falling in love with potential mess, I feel like I'm not going to say it's not encouraged in other communities, but it is so widely encouraged in like the black community, in like urban fiction books. It is so widely encouraged. Instead of a woman like pursuing her dreams, and you know what, if a relationship comes about and they can match me financially or education wise or potential wise, then okay. I'm just so tired of like that whole like, let's fall in love and be with someone because of their potential. Like that's why are we still preaching that? Like, I don't get it. Because it's just like, to me, it's just like, if we all know how that sets people up for failure as adults, I just feel like, why would we want to put that in a book? Like, why would we want to encourage it? It's different if you're like telling like a memoir, if you're sitting here giving like an autobiography on how like you went through that and now you're here and now you're there. But to sit here and like make it seem like it should be acceptable, or oh, I stayed with him when we didn't have shit and we had 6 kids together and I was working full-time and I went to college full-time and I took care of the kids all by myself and he barely had a job and he was working on his rap career and I put all of us through I just did all of this for us, and I was pregnant working 3 jobs, and I knew that his mixtape would take off, so therefore I was able to sit here and I just did whatever I had to. I carried our family on our back, and now he sits here and he pays the bills. And why is that shit so widely celebrated? Why? I'm tired of black women like being represented as like the fucking family mule in every book that I read lately. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm really tired. Why does the black woman always have to be Superwoman? Or why does she always have to get rescued and swept off her fucking feet by some man that, it just annoys me. I'm sorry, but it annoys me. That and, the glorification of, getting rescued off by some man that, is a super drug lord or, a super kingpin. I'm tired of that shit. I'm tired. I'm extremely tired. It's already all in the music. It's already, in majority of, the movies that you see on BET. And I think the reason why it bothers me, too, is that shit is not a whole representation of the black community. You have black people that are out here, they like anime and shit. They like stuff that, quote-unquote, is considered weird. And that's the thing, too. It's just, to me, when I think of urban fiction, I think of the urban community. I think of black people. The urban community doesn't only consist of fucking gangbanging and selling drugs, hustling, being a crackhead, being on Section 8, dealing with struggle love. I feel like a lot of authors are doing the black community a huge injustice. I really feel like it's just a huge injustice that's being done. Even the trend that's going along right now of I don't even know how to fucking describe it. And it's sorry you guys, this isn't the most professional video, but at this point I don't care, because I feel like not enough people are talking about it. And maybe they are and I just haven't seen the videos, but it's annoying. And it's not to sit here and toss anyone's name out there, but the first author that even comes to mind, and he's not the only one that's doing it. I feel like he's just the one that took off doing it. The Quan Mills books. Her mama's on crack rock and this and that, is a crackhead, and these hoes eat chitlins, and these CNA hoes, why? I don't get it. I just feel like certain stuff, you don't see in other communities. You just don't see in other communities. I feel like you just don't see it. It's not widely accepted or promoted the way shit is in the black community. It's just not. I've never sat here and personally myself, and if I'm wrong, I guess I'm wrong. I've never seen a white person write a book for whatever book genre, trailer trash and hoes. I fucked my cousin and we got 6 kids together as the book title. Why is certain shit that's just promoted now, and it's just the way that he took off with his books, it really kind of started a trend of let's find the most fucking horrible aspects of the urban community, and let's promote it just so we can get our books on the bestsellers list. Let's promote it just so we can take off. I just there are people out there that pick up urban fiction books for the first time and they'll think that's the representation entirely of the black community. And does everybody have to sit here and write uplifting and powerful books? No, I get it. Some people like to sit here and write nonsense. Not everybody wants to sit here and be deep. I get that. It's the same thing when it comes to music. Not everybody wants to sit here and make uplifting music. Some people want to just make party music. The problem is we can't complain about the state that the black community is in the way that everyone wants to say, these millennials are different. These, what is it, the Generation Z or X or whatever the hell you call these kids that are coming up now. I'm sorry, guys, but I don't remember if they're Gen Z, whatever they are. point is, y'all can't complain about these damn kids and how misled they are, how misguided people want to feel like they are. You can't feel that way when you're producing music and literature that encourages all the shit that you're claiming. You just don't understand why these kids are like this. You just can't. It's the same way to me as like the stuff that you're seeing on TV, the shows, how Love and Hip Hop is like so highly like promoted, or even like the Bad Girls Club. Like I remember, like what happened to like positive representations of like the black community? What happened to like times like back in the 90s where you could see like college is being promoted in the TV shows? What happened to that? And it's not like, oh, it's non-existent, but this whole let me sit here and show my ass and be just ratchet as hell, like I don't get why that's being so highly promoted right now. And we're not gonna act like it's not targeted to like the kids that are getting ready to graduate high school. We're not gonna act like that. Is it everyone's responsibility to raise your kids and be a role model? No. I don't want to be nobody's fucking role model except for my own kid. It's just, to me, it's just like at some point you do have to take accountability though. You do have to sit here and say, what role like have I played as a person or as an author in like the upbringing of like the next community or the next like generation of like authors or writers and shit. I feel like when there's not enough representation of like, when there's not enough representation of something, that's how people feel lost. I feel like, I don't know, I just would love to see more like books and urban fiction of like, I don't know, even like just more like LGBT talk in urban fiction books. I would love to see like more books where like people are coming out to their families in like urban fiction and they're accepted, or even just discussing like how that like is handled when some people come out. Like what I just feel like I want to see more. I would like to see more. Maybe I feel that way because like I'm a part of those communities. Maybe like, but the same way I feel, I don't know. Maybe if I was straight, like I would feel differently, but I really don't feel like I would. Like I feel like even like, okay, so this is a prime example. Like that whole like thing of like those books where people are like, oh, I'm writing like a fat positive book, or I'm writing like a body positive book. But then the main focus is on how like the woman is fat. And now someone loves her even though she's fat. Why can't we find books in the black community that's like, okay, she's fat, but she's living her best life, or okay, she's big and she's doing this or that, and some man isn't sweeping her off her feet on some, oh, you've been told you were ugly your whole life, and now I'm gonna make you feel like you're beautiful even though you're fat. Like shit like that. I'm tired of seeing like, I don't know. I want to see more. And it's just like, I feel like I'm only one person. Yeah, I can sit here and I can write some books like about that. But like, I would love in the next year to see more authors writing more diverse books like in the urban community. That whole like, let's just hustle. Oh, so-and-so in the kingpin, or so-and-so in this and that. Like, I'm tired of reading about it. And it's like, I even started like a book last year where it does have something about the king, like a kingpin in the title, but it's like a whole different direction that I'm going in with it. Like it's not like a glorification of like hustling and drug use and this and that. Like I don't know. And honestly, I've held off on even finishing that book and putting it out for the simple fact of like, I just don't know if I even want like people picking up the book, getting excited, thinking that it's going to be some like glorification of something that it's just not. That's not what it's going to be. So I don't know, you guys. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm tripping. I did put the question out there like in, I think it was 2 different Facebook groups today. This morning I had put the question out there of like, am I the only one that's tired of like reading this shit? And someone else like did reach out to me and say like, yeah, they're tired of it too. So maybe it's just me. You guys can comment below if you guys feel like I'm wrong, if you guys feel like I'm right, if you guys disagree, agree, how you guys feel about it. What like tropes and like cliche things are you guys tired of reading about, like within certain genres? Like, that's what I'm really curious about. Like, what are you guys tired of? And then, like, people can also say, like, oh, you can always try other genres. Yeah, I do read other genres. I read, like, psychological thrillers. I read eroticas. I read, like, pride books, books about, like, LGBT topics. I read about a little bit of everything. But I don't know. I feel like I'm multifaceted. I've always said that. So, therefore, I like to dibble and dabble in different genres. I don't want to just read only LGBT books. I don't only want to just read erotica books. I'm made up of a lot of different things. So it's just like I would love to see more of a positive representation in books directed and mainly marketed to other African American, like, women and men and children. Not children, but you know what I mean. Teens, whatever. So that is all I have to say about that, you guys. Let me know what you guys think. And for now, I am out.
Your whole style and approach, I invented. And I ain't taking that back, cause I meant it. Get it, get it. Wow.